Hello, this is Coffee Hound Retro Sharker, and welcome back to Nostalgic Nibbles, where we take a light bite of a retro game. Not a big bite, just a wee nibble for 30 or so minutes. A Sharky showcase, if you will. On today's menu, we have one of the most amazing 8 and 16-bit games, I feel, and a real forerunner to games like Stellaris and the RTS genre, which kind of flies under the radar for the most part, I feel. Though when I've mentioned Supremacy on Twitter in the past, there's been some fan love for it as well, which is always lovely to see. But yes, as we can see, we're playing Supremacy, Your Will Be Done, which has also got an alternate name in the US. I think it's called Overlord or something, Space Overlord. I forget it now, but yes. I first played this on the C64, and that version is really impressive because even on tape it still retains all the gameplay. There's nothing cut down from the 16-bit Amiga version, which I went on to play later, which has some additional graphical touches and features as well. But gameplay wise, it was still just solid on the C64, but even better on the Amiga. Just to give a little bit of the background context, you are a galactic, an overlord, basically a dictator. If I remember the story from the manual, it talked about a Dynasty of Mark and how your power was absolute until some dastardly aliens came and challenged and started colonizing your space. No, I remember now. I remember. You've basically conquered all of space, and there's no more conquests to have. So you're very disgruntled and unhappy that there's no more conquest in the because you basically just conquered everything. Until your scientists develop interdimensional travel, and you discover 4 new dimensions full of planets to conquer, but they're ruled by alien races, which you can see here. One is quite ape-like, Wotok. Wotok has no brain. Oh dear. You only require 40% neural capacity to win. 3% neural capacity, oh dear, 90%. So these basically these 4 difficulties: 8 planets, 16 planets, medium difficulty. Obviously a xenomorph knockoff there, and then you got Rawn, which is you have my sympathy. I've never beaten Rawn. I think last time I played this, I usually choose either for it's one of my comfort food games. Supremacy is. I usually fight either Wotok or Smine here. If I want a real challenge, I'll go for Krark, because you'll soon see 32 planets is a lot to manage, because this game is real time. It's one of the I think quite revolutionary things about this game, which you'll soon see. This will probably go on for a 2-parter, I think, because there's a lot to take in. I want to explain about this game as we enjoy the first scenario. We'll take on Wotok from Bananabus. Challenge. So yeah, this is from 1990, which is is even more impressive, I think. Because when you think of 16-bit and 8-bit real-time strategy, you might think of things like Megalomania, Populous as well. But this is like this was one of my, it's just probably my first experience of what we'd think of today as a 4X game. It's not fully 4X. Let's put it on pause, because as you can see, the days are passing. You can pause it, but you can't really act. So you have to make all the decisions in real time. it's got this pretty cool themed UI. That's the word. UI here. We'll pause. Here's our home colony of Starbase. Imaginative name there. So this is here's all the planets in this system, all lifeless. Here's the enemy planet there. So we start at opposite ends. Right, the first thing you can do, you can see the icons here. These are for basically like government and overall status there. So we can see there what ships are on the surface of Starbase and the planet. You can go to, it's all icon driven, which is very nice as well. Again, how clean it is and how not so much clutter and use of key commands is really nice as well. So we'll rename our planet. We'll call it Primus. Oh. Primus. We can see we got food, minerals. These are our one of 5 currencies, if you like. There's credits, resources rather, credits, food, minerals, fuel, and energy, all of which come into play. And we have a population to 195, population growth there, and 75% morale. What we'll do to encourage growth is we'll lower the tax rate, so we have a higher population. What you've got to be careful of is sometimes if you take your eye off the ball, when you lower the tax rate, you'll come back and think, oh, go, I lower the tax rate, and you'll come back to an overpopulated planet of 10,000 and all your people are starving. So you have to be very careful of this, as well as the fact that as you're acting, the enemy is acting as well in real time. If we go down to there, we can see what's on the. This is how you activate facilities such as food and mining and solar power. You basically put them on the planet, crew them up, put them on the planet. You can also launch them to other planets, other colony worlds. As you can see, there's nothing there, so we've got a food deficit there. So what we need to do first of all is go to the armory equipment here and buy a hydroponic farm station. I will call this Primus Farm because we'll have lots of these, so it's best to name each one after a planet. Primus Nom, Prime Nom 1. To transfer to a docking bay. It's quite expensive, these are. We don't want those. We want a solar power. Let's launch a satellite. Prime Sol 1. Transfer to a docking bay, lovely. Now this is what we'll buy as well, is it's basically a terraformer which will turn those lifeless planets into colony worlds for us, and that's how we expand our sphere of influence. Oh, it's not available yet. You've basically got like a grace period where you can just prepare before either you can start claiming worlds. Primus Prime Mine 1. Right, so let's go to there we go. Prime, what can we use? Because our solar generator needs to be in orbit, we need to launch it. There's generating, but what we need here is to just crew this. Oh right, it's here. This is our storage areas, and there's our docking bay. Look, so it needs a crew to operate. So crew now on board. Crew now on board. This is if you want to carry like additional. Some facilities can carry like civilians and personnel. So you can, if you want to transfer separate. So we got a lot. See, I took my eyes off the ball there. We've got a lot of people now, so let's lower the tax rate there. Let's put it a bit higher there. So we have a bit of a decrease. You've got to be quite quite authoritarian on this to succeed in Supremacy. It's not. There we go. So That's all crewed up, so we'll pop these on here. Turn them on. Always important, make sure they're turned on. And now we should start seeing an increase. Got the credits rolling in. So we've still got a surplus there, a deficit there. While we wait, this is how you recruit platoons from the population there. So first platoon troops you put, as each platoon has a maximum of 200 troops, and you can actually choose what mix of armor and very cool animations here, and train them. Right now you have a ceasefire with your rival there. You'll see messages. You'll see like insults and status updates. Oh yeah, look, there's Jerome Intel. So the atmosphere processor is now finished and available. So we'll go to the ship catalog, and we'll call this after that most famous terraformer from Star Trek to the movies 2 and 3, Genesis. You tend to only have one of these. We're going to just claim this. I don't care what you say, Barnabas, whatever your name was, Wotok. I'm going to claim this planet. It's best to leave it called Planet 1 because it's RNG. There's different planet types, and it's RNG and which one you get. Off it goes. Some cool little animations here. These stars are mine, Earthling. Deactivate your terraformer immediately. I've never known what this means. SOs as little lightning thing, SOG. So you can see it's formatting away. Let's check our planet here. Right, we need to. We still got quite a lot. We need to put the tax rate up to. Otherwise, we have starvation here. So you can see you can also do espionage, spying resources, population, war status. That's the battle screen. If you're defending or invading a world, you'll see the battles. More cool animations. There's so many cool little touches to this. It made such an impression. This did on me, and gave me a fierce love of games like this, and Master of Orion 2, and Sins of a Solar Empire, and most recently Stellaris. Let's see, I think I covered everything. Docker Base, Terraformer. We're just waiting here now. Scanning those banks, so yeah, you can see there, formatting there. Wotok is slow to start expanding. It's quite an easy, once you know all the steps, it's quite an easy scenario to just blitz through. Here's the population looking. I've got 8% pop growth, so. And we've also got a surplus of food now. Morale is dipping, of course, because of the oppressive tax rate, but let's drop it down to 50% now. We're slowing. Actually, I think what we'll do is buy another. Primus, Prime, no, that's it, 92. I'll put a second one on Primus, because then once we've if we need to, we can always fly it off to the walls once we get a surplus then, and our food situation is nice and plush. We can always ship it off to a colony world. I usually stick to about 4,500 to 5,000 population for the core world. I usually stick about 39% tax rate to give us just a tiny amount of growth, manageable growth. How long are we waiting for? 11 days, almost there. As you can see, it's on the second year of the space calendar 2011. 2010 to 2011. Come on, Amiga, to find out what kind of world we got. And these come once you've terraformed it, you automatically colonize the world with a small starting population. There's no colony ships or anything like that. What we'll do is we'll launch a second, because energy is quite useful. Prime Soul 2. And that can go straight up into orbit. There's no crew or anything like that, so up it goes. 2 days, here we go, first colony world. So it's an arid planet. So this one will be very high in any solar generators you put here will get a buff, which is very nice as well. So we go to here, it's got a population of 641. One challenge you also need to be aware of is when you buy, we're going to call it June, actually we can call it Arrakis, aren't we? That's, what else can you call our farm one? But all bought facilities and stations all start on your colored capital, and you have to accrue them and then give them fuel. Each planet costs 50 fuel. So if you want to establish like a little fuel dump, you can actually overfuel your ships, as well as there are dedicated cargo haulers as well. So we'll put some, just in case we ever need to, I'll just put 250 fuel on there. Oops. And here we are, our farm. Up it goes, it needs to go to there. A warning, Commander, if any of your spacecraft enter my zone, they shall be destroyed. This is one of the random events. A warning, huge electromagnetic storm has swept across the galaxy affecting equipment. What this one does is it turns off all your facilities. So if you don't check around, you'll suddenly find out all your facilities have been turned off. And then we'll put it on. Right. And let's get straight onto the... there we go. Now what we'll do is... we haven't named the poor planet, but... our farm... Aerosol 1. What we'll do is we'll do 2 of these because of the buff we get from Aerosol 2 from being such a hot desert arid planet. Planet 2 is already formatting. Oh, another desert one. Okay, let's keep the pace. The more we grab now, the more. See, poor old Woltark hasn't even started yet. As Primus looking, yeah, Primus got a population growth of 2% now. We'll call you. No. We'll call you Mojave. That's how you spell it. Again. We need to just the whole one. Full docking bay has got such a and this is where it becomes Aerosol is on docking bay and Primus, so we need to go to Aerosol 1. Up it comes. And this is where the challenge starts coming in to managing such a managing a colony worlds in real time. Put those up there. A bit there. Food isn't looking great, so let's trim the population down a bit. I'm sure they're just moving to the colony worlds, I'm sure now. It's not really like disappearing. Oh, one thing as well is each planet has an independent treasury. So if you want to bring them all back to, like, clearing all the cash, it's lovely if you forget for a while, and then you press that and suddenly like 50,000 credits come flowing in. So let's check our nodes. Mojave, that's okay, that's fine. Ara, on the surface of Korea, Genesis proper down there. What we need now, what we need is a genome one. Oh, we need to crew it. We need to give it 100 fuel at least. We'll give it. We'll spread out our fuel just in case. So, come on, Wotok, you haven't started, look. Wotok's got kind of like just one or two planets left to format. Have to get a different. What we'll do is we'll start training our troops. Let's have a. Let's have somewhat. It's some medium one there, so we start. Yeah, so I've got 2 platoons. First, second platoon. We'll give you some fancy gear. So it'll cost. See, it'll cost 90,000. We can't even afford that one. We'll have another one there. So 44,000 credits. It's a cost. There's like things to balance between cost, equipment, and train. You can send off troops before they're fully trained as well. And only see like as a ticking rank, and that affects their quality as well. Carbon unit. If you continue to train troops, you shall break the sub-alliance treaty. So. A treaty is broken. You are warned a troop movement will result in Red Phase 1. Disarm all platoons now. No, you will not. You haven't even started formatting yet, so. I'm hoping we'll find a. They are running, yeah. Running. Oops. I've left it in orbit. Sorry. Oh, the population of Mojave, poor things, just looking up at the sky. Oops, we need to go. Drag off the fuel. They can ellipse as they look at the orbiting thingy. 14 days. 54%, so rank of colonel. I don't think that sounds quite right. How are we looking? We'll continue on for another few minutes and just see what the what comes to this. Okay, let's put your growth down a bit. 5 days. Oh, he's actually Welltop's actually woken up now and started claiming wells himself. A spy's been caught in our base just before electric death. He said, "Walking for you." I'm sending spies. No, I have. Let's have a look. Go on, we'll have a look at everything. See, food 11,000, lots of food. 4,000 there, energy. Enemy strength 10,000. Civilians 8,913. Ah, so then we got a lush terrestrial like forest and farmland. So this will be this one will be a great one to start for food production. We'll call it Arborea. And oh, let's start greedily claiming another one. What we'll do is we'll just quickly get one. What you can do, you can use cargo haulers to basically bring the stuff back to you. So that's another consideration you make. You can't actually claim surplus resources back automatically, instantly. You need to actually send a basically merchant hauler there, a freighter there, load it all aboard and bring it back to the capital world. Num 2. Arbor Sol 1. Let's quickly get these sorted out so I don't forget next time. Arbor Num, I forget. Oh right, it costs a certain amount of fuel to go into orbit as well. Forgot about that. Whoops. Okay, running aboard quickly. There we go. I think what we need to do as well is buy a second one of these Primus, since we found no mineral rich worlds. I mine 1, 2. Oops. But yeah, this is how this game gets you. You think, well, I'll just do this, and then I'll just allow to check this before they end the game, and oh. Have you started formatting another one? Yes, I have, so yeah. What we need to do is we need to buy one of these, a cargo hauler. And you also need, for troops, you need to buy one of these B-29 battle cruisers. Right, so those two platoons have been they're training slowly. Oh, not enough credits. I wonder what's happening with this. Why these are training so slowly. Oh, whoops! I think I OSC. You start training. Oops. You start training him. I bought the gear for him and then left him at 15%. We're a bit short on gear right on there. Okay, now we have enough to so we got one our first fully equipped platoon. What we'll do is we'll crew that, fill it with fuel, and when we've got two platoons sorted, we'll transfer them to the nearest planet. Speaking of that, for the volcanic one there. So right, with the 30-minute mark, so we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching and joining me too while I play Supremacy on the Amiga, one of my favourite, still one of my favourite space conquest games, 4X games. And yeah, until next episode next week, where we pick up where we left off. This is Coffee Hound Retro Sharker signing off.